is a special thing. I've had the honor of coaching some really great players. I had a fellow named Kyle Helton, who went on to play on the U17 national team and went on to play at Duke and also played for one of the C teams in the MLS, either Chicago or Cleveland, I can't remember. I coached him for one day, and then the varsity coach found it, and so I never coached him again. I also coached a fellow by the name of Evan Kay. Evan went on to be the starting sweeper at UCLA for 2 years. I coached him when he was 6 years old. So, but Cristobal I actually had for half the season when he was, like high school age. So, when he makes it in the MLS or the whichever, I'm going to say that was one of mine. When some of the people were coming in today, I said, have you ever heard of rawhide? And some of the parents said, oh yeah, that was that cowboy show from the 60s or something like that. So the funny thing is that I thought, when I was putting down my notes for the team this year, I said, this was my rawhide team. And people said, rawhide? What's that? I said, well, we came out of tryouts, and we had 12, 13, 14 people on the team, and that was our main herd. Like when you start out on the cattle drive, and then for the next 2 weeks we were out picking up strays. And these strays that we picked up really made a difference. So we had a fun season this year. I think we had a real growing season this year. For those of you that might have picked up on the article that Gary Heron wrote about me, one of the big things that I really enjoy is the progress that we see during the season. It's not important to me that we have an undefeated season. It's important to me that we're better at the end than we were at the beginning. And we definitely did that this year. Chef, I think we'll probably talk about injuries. We had our injuries too. I don't think that there was a single game in our 17-game season where we actually had all of our players on the field at the same time. We started out, we had some players that were not able to play in the first couple of games because they got hurt at tryouts. We had, like I say, some players that joined us after the season had started. We had one player that managed to break his arm in the second game of the season and was out for almost the rest of the season. We had another one of our captains who managed to get a concussion with 4 games to go and wasn't able to get out in the field anymore after that. So it was besides being a rawhide team, we were sort of a Humpty Dumpty team. From a wood lawn standpoint, though, we ended up 10-5-2. This is the 8th year in a row that we had double-digit wins. And that's one of those things that it's not that I necessarily count the wins, but when you have them, you can be proud of them. We almost missed that double-digit number, so I sort of have to say thank you to the Volcano Vista coach for his little faux pas. If you don't know what that was, ask your son. On the downside, we lost our first district game in 6 years when we lost to Siebel. And so that was, you feel disappointed because you had such a long record going. But on the other hand, that shows you the quality of play in our district. Last year, our composite score was 19 goals for and 5 against. This is in district play. This year, it was 7 goals for and 4 against. So, wow, it's not that we weren't as good this year as we were last year. It's that the Clevelands, the Volcano Vistas, the Siebelis are stepping up, and we need to step up in order to keep pace with them. Heck no, I want to keep pace in order to stay ahead of them. Of the 24 players who were rostered for at least 1 game this season, 18 had at least 1 goal or 1 assist. So our goals continue to come from all over the field, and that's always that's made me proud. We have, those of you who've been to one of our banquets in the past, you know that I have my little quote-unquote award. It's just a recognition thing called Goal of the Year. Had 3 nominees for Goal of the Year. This is not the one that nominates them, then, you know, that I sort of could do that. First nominee was in the Santa Fe game. There was this gorgeous pass from Tyler Mason over to Dakota Marquez. Dakota just headed it right into the side netting, and it was just one gorgeous goal. And I said right there, whoa, Goal of the Year. Well, that was before the Cleveland game. And in the second Cleveland game, as time was running out, and this was one of those karma things because it happened to us last year. But this time, as time was running out, Eric Neal goes running down the outside, the right side, and lays this beautiful, beautiful kick to the far post. Was it a pass? Was it a shot? Was it a pass? Nah, it was a shot. Into the goal. Second nominee for Goal of the Year. But the winner, according to all of the votes that were cast, was Will Sanchez in the last game of the year against Volcano Vista. He gets the ball at his outside left defensive position, what we call does the village, as he goes all the way down on the outside, cuts in towards the goal, and the keeper was dumbfounded. He just turned around and looked at the ball and went back through the net. So, Willie, you got the goal. Yeah, Willie! Before I introduce the players, I'd like to recognize several individuals who really helped significantly this year. My team parent, Amy Duffy.